is a story with many facets.
T-minus 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is the Jody and Scott Show.
Hey, what's going on? It's the Jody and Scott Show. You can find us at jodyandscottshow.com. You can find us on Apple Podcasts. It's not iTunes anymore, Scott. It's Apple Podcasts. Go on there and subscribe. Search for Jody and Scott Show. It's all there. So what's happening, Scott? How you doing?
I'm a droid user, Jody. That's what the hip kids are doing now. The millennials, they're all on droids.
So if you're on droids, what is it? What do you use to listen to all the podcasts that you subscribe to, Scott? You're a big podcast connoisseur.
It's called Podcadian. Okay, Podcadian. I go to YouTube.
Podcadian.
I just hit play on that, and that's what I do because I'm hip as hell.
Right.
Jody, I can't believe we're doing this tonight. We almost did it 5 seconds ago. We almost threw in the white towel, but we're here.
It's getting close. Yeah, because we had to get a holiday. Oh no, we're allowed to say Christmas again, right? Trump's president.
He brought it back.
Yeah,
dude!
that's right. I remember last year. I had a couple friends that said Merry Christmas and ended up being dragged out of their homes and put in prison for 2 or 3 months last year. It was crazy.
I can't believe Christmas went away. Trump's bringing everything back.
Yeah, it was crazy, and now it's nice that we can say Merry Christmas again. Finally, I mean, God, wow. I guess maybe things aren't so bad with this president, right? Maybe everything's okay.
He's doing a great job, Jody.
We
will talk about him tonight because we have Sean from Inside the Magic coming on. He is going to tell us all about Trump, the new robot Trump, at the Hall of Presidents, and this is big. Everybody's talking about this thing.
The robot Trump at Disney has garnered a lot of ridicule, a lot of
not looking great.
There's a lot of theories swirling around this robot Trump. Madame Tussauds, is that how you pronounce it? Madame Tussauds. How do you pronounce that?
Madame Tussauds.
Tussauds.
Okay? I say things. I say things gooder than you, Jody. You know that.
The Wax Museum people, they were tweeting today pictures of their version of Trump, which looks like exactly like Trump. Like you could stand next to him.
They do a nice job, a bang-up job.
And then they show the Disney version, which is I guess we'll talk about it.
Melting? Like what's going on with that? Also tonight, UFO expert Jan Harzan. This guy's big.
Okay. All right. So this is in recent months, it's beginning to feel like the people in charge are starting to soften everybody up. I get the feeling that
they're getting us ready for an alien attack, Jody. I don't blame them.
I don't know if it's an attack. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I feel like a lot of credible people are starting to lend credibility to the idea that UFOs or that aliens are potentially around or doing things.
It's not
and
that joke at the end of the newscast. They're actually doing it mid-newscast.
I mean, we're talking about cover stories on the New York Times and so we'll talk to Jan about this in a little while because I think that God, I feel like I will have won the evolutionary lottery if we get to be alive during the time that they confirm that aliens are real.
Wouldn't that be great? What a time to be alive, Jody. Christmas is back, and we got aliens blowing us up. This is fun life.
Yeah, this is fun. Now. And also, did you see Star Wars yet? Did you go see it? I figured you would have seen it.
I'm a dork. I was all over it. You used to be a dork for like a year, but it looks like you got off the
kids.
Dork wagon.
Well,
what's going on with you? You haven't seen a damn movie.
I have 2 kids. My nearly 6-year-old's attention span is not quite long enough for a 2.5-hour Star Wars movie. Like he'll make it about an hour and a half into that, and then he'll start saying, let's get out of here. When's it over? So I can't take him. I can't really go. I don't know if I want to go by myself.
Well, especially this one, The Last Jedi.
That's what I mean. Like
Jody,
the hype seems
boring as hell.
The hype seems to be very
boring.
low.
No, your kid is not getting through this thing.
People aren't excited about it, so I'm just like, I'll just wait, right? I'll wait until it comes out on Blu-ray or something, and I'll
The
just
internet's
watch it.
blowing up right now, Jody. Dorks are like going back and forth. They're battling over this movie. There's a passion that comes with Star Wars. You know what I mean?
So what's the overall? What is the deal? Is the overall feeling that it's really good or that it's not good?
Well,
which one is it?
Here's the controversy. The critic rating on Rotten Tomatoes is at like 95%.
Okay.
But the fan score is at like 54.
Okay,
They're
but Star Wars
Disney
fans
might
are
have
but
their
Star
hands
Wars
in the
fans
cookie jar, okay?
But Star Wars fans are kind of assholes, right? They're very
jerks.
they're very
dorky jerks.
They're very persnickety. I get the feeling that, you know, if things don't go just right, they're gonna hammer you over it, right? So like it could be like a really good movie, but if Luke doesn't do what they felt like he was supposed to do, they're gonna dock you 10
does
points.
a lot of things.
But you know, I just don't know. I don't know if I can trust the Star Wars fans. I also don't know if I can trust the reviewers. I don't know. I'm gonna have to go see it myself, I guess.
Yeah, because they're getting paid by Disney. I'm telling you that right now, Jody. Also, we have her on. We have Payton Swanson. She has a great YouTube channel. She hates the movie, so we're gonna find out from her why she hates it so freaking much. Because she wants that movie to die big.
It's an action-packed show that we have.
Jody, you are gonna retire on Bitcoin. Is that true? Because you're all over this
You know,
thing. You were there at the bottom level, and now you're up on top.
Me and our buddy Criminal Ben, a couple years ago, I think it was. We were talking about Bitcoin. Yeah, he was like, he was like, yo, let's do the mining thing. Let's put some money into it. At the time, we were talking about,
gold.
We were talking about investing $500 maybe or $1,000, which at this point would be worth like, I don't know, millions of dollars. And
get the hell out of here! You serious,
dude? Yeah, I'm dead serious. And so during that time, I was telling him, I'm like, I don't know, like it's not. At the time, it was like $10, I think, or maybe less. And I was like, it's not going to go up that much.
You dummy!
And then
Look what you did.
And then it got to $100, and I was like, well, dude, that's definitely the ceiling. Too late now, right? Too late. Let's not. And then it got to $1,000, and I'm still okay, yeah, this is it. Like, there's no way it's going to go higher than $1,000. Then it hit $10,000, and I was like, well, buddy, yeah. So I'm not actually. Yeah, I'm not actually personally making any money off of Bitcoin, but however, I did have the chance, a couple of years ago to get in at the ground floor, and sure as hell didn't take it, unfortunately. But whatever, So let's go. Let's get to the first guest. Let's do it.
That's crazy, dude. You're rich.
So let's talk about the UFO thing, because to me, it's probably one of the most interesting things that's going on. But it's also, I think a lot of people are like, wow, like all this stuff is going on in politics, and they're just using this as a distraction. Well, you know what? Fine. I don't mind.
No, aliens are going to kill us, man.
I don't mind a distraction from politics, to be completely honest. I'm so, politics has gotten to the point where I'm so over all of it that, it's just like, forget it.
Except for Laura Ingraham. I like her. She's hot for an old woman.
Instead, let's talk about the UFO thing. So, I'm sorry, is it Jan or is it Jan? It's hard on the internet to know.
Jan.
Oh, sure, it's Jan.
It's
Thank
Jan.
you.
All right, Jan, welcome.
Come on,
welcome to the Jody and Scott show. Your site is extremely interesting. It's MUFON. Is that how you pronounce it? MUFON.com.
Yeah, MUFON.com. MUFON.com.
There you go, Jody.
Right on.
You got something right there. That's good.
So it's the Mutual UFO Network, and I think that recently, Jan, the credibility factor when it comes to UFOs has been steadily ratcheting up over the last year or so. Would you agree? Is that happening? Is that happening right now?
Yeah, it would appear that someone somewhere within the government has given the green light to a lot of groups to come out with real factual information about these objects and the fact that we're not alone. So we're applauding that. We've been at it for 50 years as an organization. Taking reports from the public. So we've known probably for 70 years that this thing is a real phenomenon, but now it appears they feel it's okay for us to know as well. So that's fantastic from our viewpoint.
So Jan, what do you at this point attribute most of this to? Like when people are talking about UFOs, do you attribute UFOs to some sort of extraterrestrial presence, or do you think that UFOs are more likely some highly advanced technology
Insects.
that here on Earth that's developed by our country or other advanced countries that are out there testing this stuff? Do you think it's aliens, or do you think it's human made? What's going on out there?
We're all going to die. We'll get to that later, though.
Yeah, we'll get to the if we're all going to die part.
Well, I think the truth is nobody knows for absolute sure, but the data we have says that these craft are being intelligently controlled. The beings appear to be coming from somewhere out there. We say out there, somewhere either in our universe or perhaps somewhere else in space-time.
Right.
So that's something that has to be determined. But what we know for fact is that these craft do exist. They are entering our atmosphere and doing incredible maneuvering. They're not from any planet, any country here on Earth. And so the technology they're displaying is so far advanced that it would behoove us to study that and try to put it to use here on our own planet.
And do you think that the reason that we're starting to see the sort of see people that are former people that formerly worked in the government talking about this. We're starting to see front page stories on the New York Times, which is, to a lot of people, maybe, one of the most credible news sources out there.
You Google aliens, a million things pop up right now, Jan.
What's the reason that this is happening now? Why now? What's going on?
Well, I think for several reasons. One is you've got the Chinese heading to the moon. You've got all these private space companies out there about to start launching you and I. And yeah, well, I mean, they're not heading to the moon today, but they're going to be there very shortly.
No, China was doing that?
China, yeah. Oh, yeah, they already had landers on the moon. Men will be following, probably within the next 10 years. So, and you've got the private space companies, Virgin Galactic, SpaceX, Bigelow Aerospace, other companies that are out there getting ready to start providing space tourism to you and I. Once we get up there, we start moving around in outer space as tourists or whatever you want to say. I think it's become pretty obvious to us there's something else going on. So at some point they're going to need to bring this out, and I think this is their way of dripping the information out to us and letting people get acclimated to the fact that we're not alone, that we live in a universe teeming with life. They tried to do an announcement back in 95-6 time frame when Bill Clinton and the JPL folks went on and tried to tell us there were life found on Mars through microbes, and that, of course, they were attacked viciously by the scientists, which I thought was interesting. But it's apparent that there's some intelligence flying about our skies, and we've been reporting this for 49 years now to the American public through our website, MUFON.com.
I just want to.
Jan,
I'm desperate.
I got one for you here, really quick. This is an important one, Jody. Give me a second here.
Yeah, I'm sure it's very important.
How many years, over under, do we get into like a Star Trek type sitchy? Like, are we gonna see this kind of thing where we're flying around, meeting Klingons and stuff? Is there any type of possibility of that happening in our lifetime? This could be big.
No.
Absolutely. I've been in contact with a number of scientists who are working on faster than light travel. I think that's one of the things this group, TTS, is trying to do is take people from Lockheed Martin, for instance. They have one of the senior VPs on their staff who are trying to get this technology out of the black world and into the white world. Now, they're not saying it that way. What they're trying to do is reinvent it in the white world. So the technology is there. We know how it works. It's through Einstein's general theory of relativity. And if you can manipulate space-time, you can go you can get out in space and you can get out far from this planet very quickly.
So let's talk about this TTS thing. Talking about To the Stars, which is the organization that has been started by Tom DeLonge, a guy who has been sort of mercilessly mocked.
Blink-182, you love them. What's My Age Again? The naked one with the porn star video. We loved that song.
He started with this UFO stuff, a bunch of years ago, and he has been savaged by people along the way, calling him, saying that he's basically crazy, total kook. And now here he is starting this organization with former members of the U.S. government that headed UFO investigations, former heads of the skunk works at Lockheed Martin. Like we're talking about people that are, we're talking about extremely credible people working with Tom DeLonge on this project that's designed to sort of integrate the knowledge of aliens and their technology into our own society. Like, how did Tom DeLonge, do you think, become such an integral part of this? Was it because he sort of had the ear of young people, or how has he become so centered to this idea of getting this knowledge out to the general public?
I don't know the answer to that, but my guess is that he is viewed as someone who has the ear of the younger generation, and it's really the younger generation that's going to see the benefits of all of this new technology that's going to come out. And they're looking for a mouthpiece to put that out there. So I applaud him for what he's doing. I applaud the gentlemen who've put themselves around him, and I think this is only going to benefit all of us here on this planet. And it should be some exciting times ahead for us if we're willing to take the leap.
Oh man, I'm really because what I was telling Scott was I feel like confirmation of extraterrestrial life during my lifetime. I'll feel like I won the lottery or something like that. It would be one of the cornerstone changing moments of humankind, right, Scott? Wouldn't it be inspirational?
So.
Would it change your life? You think to learn that for sure we're not the only ones out there?
In a way, I'm wondering any chance of me getting probed anytime
Ooh.
soon because I've heard about that.
It
and
might
what
be
they do with
fun.
that,
Yeah.
and maybe take a sample from me. I don't know. I could probably.
Is there a list? Is there a list like we can sign up on your website for that?
We do not offer that. No.
Maybe you should think
we
about
can offer you.
Maybe you should think about that.
We can offer you the
Offer
real
me,
deal. We can
please.
offer you the latest that's happening around the planet because it's happening on a daily basis.
Free
Let's
We're
get
seeing
that
very
checked.
large.
But let's get that.
Craft? What's that?
Let's get that probe waiting list going on. Move on.
Offer me.
Right. Come on, all for Scott. Let's get it going.
I love your website, Jan. By the way, I take a lot of time reading
Thank
that
you.
thing.
Yeah, because I've got to tell you, I've always been of the mind that it's impossible that we're the only ones out there, right? Like the universe is too big, too expansive, like it's impossible. But I've never really thought that it was that there was a real possibility that that we were being visited now, like during our time. But like. So you're saying that it's just absolutely happening, and there's no room for thinking any other way. Is that what you're saying,
It's
Jan?
exciting. It's like opening a Christmas present right now.
Yeah, we receive 500 to 1,000 reports a month from around the world. Now, honestly, not all of those are spaceships from Zeta Reticuli. But about 30% of them, after investigation, end up being unknown. So there's definitely craft coming here from somewhere that aren't ours that are showing very advanced technology. And I think that's what the video that was released with the New York Times article is trying to show is here's gun camera photo images from an F-18 off a carrier that shot this UFO over the ocean, so off San Diego. So I think, the proof is there that these objects exist. Who they are, why they're here, and where they're from is yet to be determined. But the more important thing is that the technology they're displaying is so far advanced that if we can just figure out how it works, we too will join the intergalactic neighborhood.
Let's
right?
do
We'll
it.
be out there traveling
Jody,
around.
it's all happening.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm ready.
celebrate!
I'm ready too, Jan. Like I'm
Dude, I'm gonna pop open a beer right now.
Yeah, crack a beer. Let's crack a beer and join the intergalactic civilization.
I'm getting
We're
probed.
ready to. Let's probe. Let's get Scott probed, everybody. All right, Jan. Hey, Jan, thanks for taking a few minutes to join us. We really, really appreciate it. And
You're very welcome.
And,
Thank you.
And hopefully, sometime in the very near future, we're gonna, be able to go, get some selfies with some of these guys.
Interstellar.
Yeah, right. All right, later on.
Got
All right.
some
Well,
good
thank you, and I
acid.
appreciate it.
Thanks.
Have your viewers and listeners check out the website, MUFON.com. Thanks so much.
Thank you very much, Jan. There it is, MUFON.com. Go check it out. Definitely worth checking out. It's a
dude.
very credible UFOs. I'm telling you, I'm on board with this. Like I'm not even like slightly hesitant about it. I'm on board.
Get on that probe list.
They're here. They're around. We'll get you on the probe list, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I want to be in like a top tenner.
Don't worry about it.
Speaking of space, Jody, we're going to continue that topic right now. Space is big.
Okay.
So there's plenty of room for topics on it.
Yeah.
Star Wars. You haven't seen it yet because you have kids. This movie.
That's right.
Director's cut song.
Haven't had a chance to go check out the new Star Wars yet. Last Jedi. I got on the Star Wars.
Wow, dude, it's controversial, man.
I got on the Star Wars thing late, right? Like just in the last
What
few
song
years.
is this? I told you to pick up the Star Wars song.
This is it, right?
Is that a flute in there?
So I got
Is
on.
that the only way we can play the song legally? Is that what's going on?
I got on board late, right? Like I wasn't able to get into Star Wars early on for some reason. I don't know why I didn't get into it. I just didn't. But in the last few years,
I tried to force you when we worked at O-Rock. Remember? I
yeah,
forced you to do it.
yeah. In the last few years, though, with my son, I got into it, and I really
Got a
liked
reason
it.
now.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it, but I haven't seen this new one yet, and it seems like opinions are extremely split. So we have a guest joining us. It's her name is Payton, right? Payton Swanson, is that the name? Payton is from Payton. Where are you from? Talk Nerdy with me. Is that right? Payton?
YouTube channel.
That's my new.
Jody, don't try to pick up on our guest.
Yeah. I wasn't sure what to say there. I was like, wait, am I supposed to say this or is it the name? So your YouTube, so the channel of so the name of your YouTube channel is Talk Nerdy to Me, and so this is your and you have it's Talk Nerdy with me.
Yeah, come on, Jody, get it right.
Talk great to me, song, copyright, all that.
It's cool. So welcome to the show, and I get the feeling from watching your video on YouTube that
you watched it, Jody. You actually did some research for this show. Whoop-de-doo. Look at that.
maybe you're not the biggest fan of the movie.
No. I've been a Star Wars fan since I was 7, so I'm 25, so 18 years now, and
Okay.
honestly, this was not a Star Wars movie.
So wait, you're 25, so
I
that means
feel
how old were you when the first movie came out? The first Star Wars movie? Were you even
I
born
wasn't
yet?
doing
even
the math,
born.
Jody.
I wasn't even born.
Oh, you weren't even born
no.
yet. Oh.
You're more of a millennial like me, yeah.
Okay. Anyway.
Now, Jody loved.
started with the originals, though.
I'm sorry, what was that?
I started with the originals, though. I didn't start when Phantom Menace came out. I started with the originals.
good.
That's
Okay.
the way my dad did it. So
Nice. All right.
This is the proper way.
So I assume, just like everybody else, your expectations were high. You were really, really excited for The Last Jedi,
The
especially
critics came out saying it was great.
especially after the way the last movie set things up. What was the, without really spoiling the movie, without going into anything too specific?
Spoil the
about
hell out of
story,
it for him right
like,
now.
what was the reason why you walked away from this one not feeling it? What happened? What went wrong?
Well, because, I mean, I will say, like, Episode 7, I think J.J. Abrams, although it was, to me, a kind of more modern twist on Episode 4, it was basically 4, but with new characters and just a little differences.
Yeah.
I
It was
feel like
good. It
he
was
still
fun, though, you know?
left us with what?
It was good. It was fun, though. You know, he wrapped a nice ribbon around,
Yeah,
A New Hope, basically. You know, gave us a new hope.
Yeah, no. So I was more accepting of that. So, like, Episode 7 left us with, these new characters, these story arcs that were forming, relationships, and it's like, you were excited, and, like, all these questions we had were like, Rey's parents, or, just all this intrigue. And I go into Episode 8 like, oh, this is going to be amazing. No. It was not.
Huh. It's that.
Can we give one spoiler?
No, all right, I don't know. Are you
Let's
supposed
do
to do
one
that? Like, the
spoiler.
movie's only been out for like a week. I don't think we can do that, right? Like,
It's
this
not
is
even really a spoiler.
Like, isn't this one of those
I
things?
won't do that.
Here's the thing, Scott.
Okay,
Listen to
go
me. Now, listen, and you listen too, Payton, because you have a YouTube channel, and this is
Hey, don't use
and
that
this is
tone with
important.
me.
This is important. I think everybody needs to listen to this right now, okay? Because there was a 17-year-old Mexican YouTube star, okay? His name Juan Luis Lagunas Rosales, okay? Have you ever heard of Juan Luis Lagunas Rosales ever before?
He Spanish in college.
Right. Well, here's the thing, right? Like he's a Mexican YouTube star. He got famous for binge drinking and getting all crazy, but he made a video where he went out there and he called out some of the local drug cartels, right? And he was like, "Yo, drug cartels, suck my D," right? Okay? And then, do you know what happened, Scott? Those drug cartels broke into his house and shot him dead, okay? So now understand the parallel that I'm drawing here, right? Star Wars
Give away a spoiler. I'm gonna die. I
Star
don't
Wars
wanna
fans,
die, dude.
Star Wars fans are crazy as f. Okay, and you know this, right? We all know. We know that the spectrum of like Star Wars fan autism runs from the basic fan to like really hardcore, really crazy fandom. And if we spoil any part of this movie right now, one of those crazy ones could very well come busting through one of our doors in the very near future. This includes you, Payton. And quite potentially injure or kill one of us. And I'm just trying to make sure that doesn't happen, Scott. You know what I mean?
I didn't think they left the basement though, Jody.
Right. So let's make sure that doesn't happen, and let's not spoil it, because I don't want you, and I don't want Payton, and I don't want me to end up like Juan Luis Lagunas Rosales, who was recently murdered by a Mexican drug cartel down in Mexico. Okay.
Let me take this for a second now, Jody. Okay, we won't do the spoilers, all right? Now, now that Disney's on board with this thing, Payton, the critic reviews have been through the roof. Now, if you look at the audience reviews, they're down to 50% positive. Do you think Disney is paying these critics off? I need to know this. People aren't talking about this. Is Disney paying off these critics to say this piece of crap movie is a shining gold?
Big conspiracy here.
Without a doubt.
True.
Without a doubt. Wow. There it is. Is that really? You guys really?
Good, Jody.
Now, do you think Disney is paying reviewers with cash, or do you think Disney just has a way of ensuring
Go to the premiere.
access?
I see a lot of those
You're
nerds
right.
at the premiere.
You know what I mean? Like don't they just like if you write a bad review, you're not on the list for the next big premiere, right? Or you're not on the list for the next media junket. You get removed from the email list on the next, when you get invited for stuff. Isn't that really is that how they do it? Like, so it's just sort of it just really encourages everybody to give the better reviews, because then you don't have to worry about being left out on the next round. Like, they're not actually paying these people, are they?
I don't know. I don't work for Disney. I mean, I love
One
Disney
answer's
for
Payton.
the
One answer.
Disney aspect, but they should have stayed away from Star Wars. I think that whether it's a monetary value or other payouts, like you said, I'll make sure you get front row of this next premiere. We'll give you the first exclusive scoop or something. I feel like, and plus they're not as invested as all of us, so of course they're more likely to give in. Yeah, this is the best thing ever. This is riveting. No,
Okay.
it was not. Honestly,
No.
where you see. So go ahead.
I have a question for you again, Payton. Here's the deal, all right? Have you noticed? Now, I watched your YouTube video about the review of The Last Jedi right after I saw the movie, and you were heated. You were heated about how you hated this movie.
Oh, yeah.
I've noticed, after reading and watching a bunch of YouTube videos, I'm slowly starting to think that the movie was good. Not because I saw it again, because I think my brain's being talked into this movie being good. Are you getting any of that right now? Is it happening to you?
Do you like it more as it sinks
No.
in? No. All right. Well, there it is. All right. Well,
I'm brainwashed, Jody!
Payton.
I think I got probed!
Payton, the YouTube channel is Talk Nerdy with me, and it's a fun channel, and you got a fun thing going on. So thanks for representing the voice of the real Star Wars fans that don't like the movie for us tonight. We really appreciate it.
By the
Hey,
way, only
I
one
tried to
spoiler.
go down
No spoilers.
What do you
Scott.
think about
You're
the
gonna
Jar
get
Jar
killed.
big sex scene? Did you
No,
like
there.
it?
No.
That was a spoiler.
That
yeah.
wasn't
That
real.
was a little
Spoiler.
much.
You
That
guys
was a little
stop.
much. Even for Disney, that was a little much.
Stop.
Yeah.
Stop. I don't believe you. I don't believe either of you that happened.
I thought it was kind of hot.
All right. Thanks, Payton. Appreciate it. Later on.
Payton, thank you very
There
much.
she is.
Great review. Make sure you check it out.
She's on
Talk
YouTube.
Nerdy to Me YouTube
With
channel.
me.
Payton,
With
it's
me.
right there. Great review.
With me, Scott. Talk Nerdy with me, because if it's
With me.
if
I think
it,
it'll show up either way, though, Jody, huh?
I don't know. Maybe someone else is Talk Nerdy to me, and she's Talk Nerdy with me, and then
With
people are going to
me,
get them
okay.
confused. So Talk Nerdy with me. On,
Do you like the Porgs?
on
Are you
YouTube.
a Porgs fan? Really quickly.
What's a porg?
They're like a hamster penguin or something.
Oh, well, I haven't
Did you
seen
like
the
Porgs?
movie. They're the little guys that are in the preview, though. Yeah, I like
Right.
them. Are they featured heavily in the movie? Are they in there a lot? Are they?
Oh, she's gone?
Yeah, she's gone. We
Oh,
said goodbye. We
I
said
thought-
goodbye. I thought you were
Your
talking to
Porg
me.
Review. That's sad. She was a beautiful woman.
Yeah. Okay.
That woman
Well,
did a great job. She's angry and hot. I like angry and hot. I like when hot
20
girls yell anger
and
at me,
25.
you know what I mean?
She wasn't even alive when the first one came out. She's just exactly right
Yeah, well,
age
you know,
that you're looking
We're millennials here, Jody. you know?
You're not a millennial. You're older than me. Stop this.
Okay,
You're
I
not.
want to see a birth certificate.
You are a
from you,
generation.
okay? That's
You are a
not true.
generation. You are a member of Generation X. It doesn't matter how
What is
hard
that?
you try to claw yourself
I'm too young to
into
know
the
what that
Generation
is.
Y. It doesn't matter how hard you try to claw yourself out of being born in the 70s. You were born in the 70s, man.
I was not. You want to see my birth certificate? I got it right here. All right, I'll fax you over a copy. I have a fax machine. It's
Dear
like a retro
God.
thing. We do cool things like that when we're millennials. We bring back retro crap. All right. What do you think the top 3 Google searches of 2017 were? Now, this is big. Do you have my Jody Dilemma music?
The top 3 Google searches are okay. Now,
Searches.
is this broken down into like?
Okay, I got 10 of them here. Let's see if
Wait.
we can hit 3.
All right,
How's
so
that?
is this broken down into like state by state or region or the United States or the world or what? What's the top 10 Google searches for what? The USA?
Google released its year in review list yesterday, and this is the top stuff that was researched in 2017. I got 10
By
things
who?
here. Can
By
you
what?
name 3?
Florida?
Google.
No,
Google. You know Google? I was an intern there. That's why I'm a millennial. Everybody.
All right, so let's.
3 things that were researched on Google the most in 2017, Jody. This should be easy. You
Trump-
Google things all day.
Trump tax plan. Is that in there?
It is not, Jody. I thought you were on top of shit, man. This is screwed up. What else you got?
UFOs. UFO related. Something
Oh,
UFO.
Jesus, Jody. This is pretty easy. I got this. I mean, I'm looking at it.
You're
but
looking
I
at the
got it. I
list, so
did
of course it's easy.
Yeah, but I took a guess before I looked at the list, all right? Don't slam me.
Stepsister
Big
porn.
tragedy here. Big
Stepsister.
tragedy
no,
here.
stepsister
Jesus
porn. I was
Christ.
saying stepsister porn, but
No, but that's already on the internet. You just get that if you go to YouPorn.
All right, what are? Tell me what the top 3 are. Yeah, I'm obviously terrible at this game. What are-
Hurricane Irma. You
Okay.
remember that? Trump tossing the paper
Yep.
towels. That's all I
Yep,
remember.
that was a
about
big
it.
one. Yep, I remember
Not
that.
having
I remember
power for 2
Irma.
days.
Yeah, that's right. We didn't have power for a very long time down at our house as a result.
Yeah, actually,
of that.
it worked out for us. We got a delicious dinner at Capitol Grill because of the hurricane.
Yeah, tried to
Irma.
block it out. What else? So what else there? Okay, so we got Hurricane Irma. That makes sense.
Of course, the sensual and creepy Matt Lauer.
Yeah. All right, Matt Lauer. All right, and give me one more.
The death of your favorite artist, Jody, Tom
Prince.
Petty. You cried for that, didn't you?
Tom
He's your
Petty.
top three.
Tom Petty. Was Prince in there too?
He died in 2016.
Was that 2016?
You need
The
to
years
get
are
with it, man.
the years are squashing. The years are squashing together in a way
Isn't it sad?
it's bending my mind. Like things that happened 2 years ago feel like they happened a month ago.
How do we slow this freaking life down? That's what I need to know.
There's
Is
no
there a
way
to do it.
No, there's no way. It's just it's just getting to the point where you just look in the mirror and realize that you're gonna die soon, and that's just how it is. So let's go ahead and welcome our guest.
Wait a minute.
Sean.
I was gonna ask you. I call you a double dipper. You want to know why?
What? Why? Why'd you call me a double
You
dipper?
celebrate both Hanukkah and Christmas.
I do.
That's
We
what a
get
double dipper.
I do. I
is.
used to be
That's
so
sick,
jealous.
Jody.
I used to be so jealous of those
not
kids.
right.
When growing up in school, I was so jealous of those kids, and now I get to be one. I get to be the
pop
double
on one of
dipper.
those cupcakes on your head. You make me do it at your wedding. You won't do it.
So let's talk to Sean. He's from Inside the Magic, and I think he's got some thoughts on what's going on with the Hall of Presidents at the Magic Kingdom at Disney World. Big controversy over the animatronic a statue or puppet. What do you call it? Is this animatronic statue or is it animatronic
Jody,
puppet?
Sean actually canceled his dinner plans to be here with us on the show tonight. Isn't that nice of him?
That was really very nice of you, Sean. Thanks for going out of your way for us like that.
He's a great guest, though. That's what we had to get him on
for
here.
For sure. How are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing great, man. How are you?
I'm staring at the bottle
good.
of a
I'm good. And you know what?
Fireball.
You guys are so cool. I for sure would definitely cancel my dinner plans anytime for you guys.
That's
you
very
guys
nice
are
of you.
hilarious.
That's very nice of you. So
Where we going? Chipotle? You got to cancel
Let's
the rest
talk
of the night
about-
if you go there. You know what I'm saying? That place is tough to eat at.
let's talk about what happened.
Oh, my goodness.
Let's talk about what in the hell happened to the Trump animatronic statue, because I think everybody had the same reaction when they first saw it. Is that
Scary,
you
dude.
stop and you go, yeah. Like what?
Hell is that?
What happened? What's going on at Disney World right now? Are they just trolling the president of the country? Is that what's happening? What's going on?
Yeah, so I don't know. I know the Hall of Presidents. They've always included the newest president ever since the beginning of the attraction when I first opened at Magic Kingdom. I know they actually closed for a full year and they didn't just refurbish Donald Trump, of course, the whole attraction. But in regard to the Donald Trump animatronic, which is the term they do use, it is, of course, really the technology used within this new animatronic supposedly is the most up-to-date and current ever before. I know a lot of people are kind of criticizing the animatronic because they don't believe
I see
it
the
looks.
movements are good.
Yes, it moves well. A lot of the criticism comes from the fact that they don't believe it looks so much like him.
Okay, but here's the thing. All right, but here's the thing. Let's okay. Now
he has a melting face shot. His face is melting off that robot.
When you look at the Obama robot, it doesn't look like Obama, but it does. Look like it. But it does look like an attractive black man, right? Like it's
you
not.
Look at Abe Lincoln. You kind of want to bang him.
It's not.
You know what I mean?
It's not
These people look
Obama.
good.
It doesn't like you wouldn't say it's Obama if you saw that animatronic without context walking down the street. You wouldn't be like, oh wow, there's Barack Obama. No, but he still, you would say, oh, there's an attractive black animatronic man right
Not
there.
bad looking.
Now, if you're walking down the street and you saw the Trump animatronic, you would call the police. You would run away. you would hide your children. There's a lot of reactions, none of which are, oh, well, that's an attractive.
Now, Sean, there's a big rumor going on right now,
Yeah.
and that's why we have you on, because you get to the bottom of this. You're inside Magic. You're right inside of it. So here's the question. There's a rumor saying that they were halfway done with the Hillary robot, and she lost. Everybody thought she was going to win. She lost. And then they just strapped some Trump hair on Hillary and fattened her up and put him out there. Is that true? Because that's big. That would be big. That would be breaking news right now. Is that true?
It definitely looks like that could be true. I mean, when you look at the robot's face, you can definitely see some Hillary in there. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of got Hillary's eyes a little bit, like the bags under the eyes are sort of Hillary-ish. Like even the hair is a little Hillary-ish.
Little Hillary. Yeah, I don't know about that. I know they closed down the ride, though, after I'm pretty sure Trump was sworn into the office. So at that point, they did kind of know was going to be him being the addition to the attraction. So for that rumor, I don't know how accurate
This would be
that
big,
is,
Sean. We like to break news
only
here.
for
This
that
is big.
reason.
So what?
But
So then, Sean.
I guess I've heard that rumor though.
Okay, then, Sean. Let's
See,
get
I
down
told
to
you it was
this.
out there. I
Sean,
dig
why,
deep, Jody.
why does the president look so hideous? Why, Sean? Let's just get to that. Let's just get to the bottom of
We wanna
this,
find
right?
out,
Like,
Sean, that's why you're
I
here.
feel like you're dancing around the question a little bit, Sean.
Let's get
But like,
inside the magic right now.
why is the president looking so hideous in the Hall of Presidents? Why did they
Here we
make
go.
him look like
We're
that?
about to find out, Jody.
Yes, that is the way that animatronic was designed. That was, in fact, how Disney would like to portray the face of Donald Trump. And, that is just how they saw
So what you're
him.
saying?
And
So you're
that
saying
is how they
that?
created him.
So you're
He's not a very
saying
good-looking guy to
because
begin with.
because this
And
is
then
my
they do that?
here this is my theory, and I feel like you're saying the same thing, and I feel like you're not going to say it in as many words. So I want to be clear that this is not you saying this. But my opinion
Okay.
is that Disney
Watch
is
your mouth, Jody. This is a Disney type,
major
audience here.
is a major corporation with huge, massive budgets, right? So they're going to accomplish whatever it is they want to accomplish.
Liberals.
They built like a Pandora, for God's sake. You know what I mean? So like whatever it is that
did.
whatever it is that they want to do, they're going to do it, and they're going to have it look exactly as they want it to look. So that means that they took this animatronic
Who
and they
signed off on
and they
his
made
face?
it
That's
and they
like-
made it look exactly. This is not a mistake. It wasn't a mess up. It didn't something didn't go wrong in the approval process. Like they made this animatronic look exactly the way they wanted to make it look, which means that they are essentially they're trolling the president,
people,
right? Like that's what this is. That's the only excuse, right, Sean? Like they're like, hey, okay, so I guess we have to put you. I guess we have to put you in here. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make you look as bad as possible. Is that what's going on here, Sean?
Well, you are correct in saying that, of course, to keep the integrity of the attraction, they will, of course, follow the history of it and always continually put in the new president that serves in office, whatever current president who is serving. And so I think for that reason, they did, of course, add him because, of course, he is the president of the United
Yes, he
States
is.
at this point in
Yeah.
time. I
That is
can't
true.
explain to you their design process in regard to how, the facial structure
I don't
and
think
the
Hillary
hair
would've
and
looked like
the
that.
wrinkles and everything were designed.
So what you're saying
But,
is that what you're
yeah.
saying is that this
He
is
got his turkey neck,
is
right?
whatever's going on with the Trump statue is so deep inside the magic that like not even not even you being
I mean, Sean's
inside
deep,
the
but
magic.
he's not that deep.
Yeah, not even you being deep inside the magic are quite
get
deep
deeper?
enough in the
Oh,
magic
my.
to truly understand what's going on here. Is it, so that's what's
Yeah,
happening. Okay.
I think that is a very what you just said is incredibly accurate to my understanding of the
Perfect.
situation. I am only so deep inside the magic.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was what Disney did. This is how they saw him, and this is how he is portrayed now. I don't know. I guess you guys haven't seen the attraction yet.
Not yet, but I'm
yourself?
desperate. I'm desperate to get there though. I'm going to be going probably sometime over the winter break
Watch
here
it on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm a season pass
Yeah,
holder.
we have it.
I'm
we
going.
have it on our YouTube channel.
Jody has the bracelet.
Yeah,
we just
I'm
got
getting
video.
over it.
Yeah.
All right.
Sean, I'm on your website every single day. I have no life. I love this thing. Okay?
Sean, if something happens
Yes.
in the next few days and you somehow get deeper, okay.
Deeper,
So
yes.
if you get deeper,
Yeah.
Sean,
Yeah.
For sure.
if things
I
get
will
deeper,
email
Any
you,
other-
I will let you know if
All
I
right.
get deeper.
perfect. Thank
Any
you,
other
Sean.
breaking
Appreciate it.
news from Inside the Magic that we need to know about? Any big rides coming? Are they going to blow up that golf ball at Epcot? What do we got? Anything big?
No, right now a lot of things are under wraps. But and I think the only thing that's kind of is going to be new is, which I think we talked about last time, is the Guardians of the Galaxy attraction and
Right.
the
Yep.
Ratatouille coming to France and
Jody's kinda horny
Epcot.
about
But no,
that.
and if any of your viewers have not yet seen the new animatronic, it is on our YouTube channel and Inside the Magic. And you can see footage of his whole speech and everything. And
Nice.
maybe your listeners can check it out for themselves and maybe get their
Now,
opinions,
Sean,
I don't know.
I
You
would
are
like that.
InsideTheMagic.net. I actually own InsideTheMagic.com.
Ooh,
Now, I
let's do a little
own
wheeling and dealing.
InsideTheMagic.com.
Let's do a little wheeling and
Yeah,
dealing
we're
here.
talking about $50. You can take it off my hands right now, just because I think you're a good guy. You know.
Dude, take that deal.
I'll have to talk
Email
to my
me.
boss about that, but that's
Take
a good
that deal.
bargain for sure.
Need
For
the-
sure, I'll
we need the-
email you.
we need- we need
I'll
the-
email
We'll
you.
talk through email.
We
Yeah.
need the Shark Tank music. All right, thanks, Sean. Later on. Sean from Inside
Thank
the
you
Magic.
so much.
Sean. Oh, I cut him off.
He's
Sorry,
a great
Sean.
guy. You just hang up on a beautiful man, Sean. I mean, he wouldn't appreciate that, Jody.
No, that's
we got
like
a couple more things. It is.
I like
the
that. I
winter
like
solstice. Did you
solstice,
know
the
about
winter
this?
solstice. This is the
Solstice.
today is
Come on,
the
I
day
graduated.
that the sun appears for the shortest amount of time,
It's
right?
the longest night.
So from this, yes. So from this point forward, the days finally get longer. We got a little more sunlight
Now,
every
I
day
pigeon-
starting
which is
today.
When the lights go down, the Christmas lights go up. Now I pigeon you for is that a thing? I pigeon you for a laser guy. You
No.
don't really wanna put the lights on. You buy one of those lasers you
Yeah.
stick in the lawn. I call them the lazy lasers.
Yeah.
Is that you?
No. I've
I thought you did
I
that.
gotta tell you, I think they're
next to
lazy
the
too.
menorah.
I thought about it. Like, here's the thing. I last year I went out and I did a really good job decorating the house. Spent a couple days really making it look really nice.
Right.
And this year I dragged out the stuff and I got about halfway through it and it was like hot and it hasn't cooled off and I'm sweating my ass off and it's December, right? Like I'm in South Florida. It's December and I'm putting up lights and I'm sweating like it's June and I was just like, you know what?
just threw
F
the
it.
lights
And
in the garage?
so I put lights on like 2 trees.
You're like a Scrooge.
And then I was like, screw it, and just tossed the lights in the bin and went inside, and I never and I never put any more up. However, I do think that those
Poor kids.
I think
don't have
those
lights
laser
all over the house. That's
I think
sad.
those laser things are extremely lazy, and I don't even think they look good.
I'm gonna start egging houses that have those. My neighbors to my dad's house have them. They just like slowly move around.
Every house on my block has them. It's like being at a goddamn rave. Like you're walking down the
Without the
down
drugs.
the street.
How do you
Right.
drugs?
Like you're walking down the street and the lighting effects on the houses are closer to what you'd see at a club playing house music than like at a Christmas
Before we get out of
display.
here, Jody, we have some breaking news here. Do you have my breaking news thing?
I do have it somewhere.
Wow. Breaking news, Jody. Papa John steps down as CEO after NFL backlash.
Oh, really? After he made his company like the official pizza of the alt-right,
Right.
that didn't go so well
Gone.
for him. Yeah. Apparently. Oh, really? So he's really actually resigned. That's really happening right now.
Now, I am deep inside the story,
Wow.
deeper than Sean over at Inside the Magic. They're saying there was also a romantic, this is twisted, it goes right into the twisted. There was a sexual romantic rendezvous with Peyton Manning and Papa John. This is another reason, I'm not
Oh, wow.
saying this is that, yeah, and he was going to come out and say
Wow.
that him and Peyton Manning
For a thing?
were having sexual sex
Wow.
in the locker room after the Super Bowl. This is big. Now,
crazy.
I'm breaking this news here. It is not because of the NFL protest. It is because he and Peyton Manning had a sexual relationship after the Super Bowl that continued for a couple months. But it now is over. But that happened, Jody. Can you believe that? That's
Wow.
deep.
That's deep.
I'm like the Woodward and Bernstein of this show. You know what I mean?
This is deep in the magic stuff right there.
What'd you get me for Christmas?
I didn't think we did gifts.
I thought we did. I got you something, dude.
I got you. I did. Here's like 3 years ago.
You got, whoa! I got
About-
you a flip-flop ornament. an
Oh,
ornament.
nice. About 3 years ago, I was in Target and I purchased like this like funny like sort of like adult onesie that I was like, oh, I'm gonna give this to Scott for
Hey, that would've been-
Christmas.
you didn't get
And
it?
then I got
Oh,
it.
you cheap
I
ass.
got it, and then I didn't give it to you. And I actually just found it on a shelf in my closet when we were cleaning out the closet. So maybe I should give that to you this year.
Are you gonna be in Orlando?
I'll give you your
next
onesie.
week or
Yeah, I
no?
think I'm gonna be up there. So I'll
Bring the onesie.
I'll bring you your
remind you, 'cause I
onesie.
know you'll forget.
Yeah, I'll bring
Wear
it.
a cup though, because I don't need my thing hanging out all over the place with the kids around. you know
Probably a
what I mean?
good idea. But
I think so too. Check us out our YouTube or on iTunes or Twitter. Jody and Scott Show, Jody with a Y. I'm going to put a bunch of clips up there. I have a new clip thing, Jody, where I can splice crap up and put them up on the Twitter. You like that?
I'm excited. Really excited about it.
Word of the year, feminism.
Oh, really?
You got a feminist haircut.
I have a feminist haircut.
Yeah, you look like you got it at a feminist barber shop.
Yeah, it's time. I'm going to get a haircut
You blow
tomorrow.
that out?
Yeah, no.
You-
I'm going to get a haircut tomorrow.
How's your
All
hair
right.
looking? I haven't seen you.
Oh,
Where's
it's
my
ridiculous.
Christmas song? Can we take us out with that? My beautiful Christmas song?
Yeah, you know what? You sent this. We didn't
Take
even.
us out
we
with
didn't-
that. It's
we
a
didn't even
beautiful
get to
song. I
this.
wanted to switch things up for Christmas.
We didn't get to
Beautiful
this.
song Take us out. JodyandScottShow.com. Jody with Y.
Merry Christmas, everybody. See you at the beginning of the new year.
Christmas we love, New
like this, Scott. I like it.
The video really does it justice.
Makes me feel good. It's called Excuse My Christmas, by the way, if you want to look for it on YouTube.
Down a gallon of eggnog right now. Eggnog?
I hate eggnog.
There's no egg or nog in that. Did you know that?
I just hate it. There is egg, I do believe. Definitely egg.
Oh yeah, my other twist was Donald Trump drinks 15 Diet Cokes a day. He's gonna die before we know.
This Christmas, when we're away, we know you miss us. All I can say is excuse my Christmas.
500,000 views on YouTube.
With goblins we just got done, and now there's lots
YouTube.
of mistletoe around. After Santa travels through outer space, will hang with us, and
How does it
Christmas
end?
will be next. Santa, I won't be naughty no more.
This song goes on forever.
Yeah, you can shut it off. I'm sorry, but you gotta kind of see the video to know what's going on. It still sucks, but
No, we're sticking with it now.
On my Christmas list.
No, we can end it now. This is kinda
Feliz Navidad.
losing listeners
Feliz
right now.
Navidad.
I think it's the end of the show.
When we're away, we know you miss us. All I can say
Katy Perry was
is
excellent, by
excuse
the way.
my
We didn't talk about my big
Christmas.
shining moment going to Katy Perry the other night.
All
We
right.
didn't do this song.
Let's get out of here. All right, everybody. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. We'll see you at the beginning of the new year. See you later.
Christmas is back. Thank you, President Trump.